everyone, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess and Chief Tax Strategist for TaxGoddess.com, BigTaxDrop.com, and DropMyTaxes.com. Super happy to be with you guys here today on our channel, Tax Strategies that Save Entrepreneurs Thousands. Today we're going to be covering 8 top things that if you're a cryptocurrency trader or investor, you need to know. So make sure you stick around. If you've been with us here before, great, thanks for coming back. If not, make sure you subscribe and turn on that little notification bell so that you get notifications about our new videos. Our channel here, Tax Strategies that are, I can't even say it, Tax Strategies that Save Entrepreneurs Thousands each year, is here to educate, entertain, and or inspire. So today we are definitely doing some education. Let's jump right into the main meat of the topic, our 8 tips for today. So the very first one is the IRS has very clearly regards crypto, any kind of crypto whatsoever, as property and not as currency. So if you're reading the IRS Notice 2014-21, which of course, who really wants to read the IRS notices, but they do regard crypto as property, not as currency, which means no matter how you use it, buying, selling, transferring, you may be triggering a gain or loss, okay? And that means taxes. So you need to be aware of that. Now, since it's property, okay, bartering is also taxable. So, for example, if you are trading coin, even for something as simple as a meal, there will be tax consequences to that, okay? So, coin for a service, coin for an item, whatever it is, that will be taxable. And again, you have to report it, right? Now, remember, side tangent, there's lots of strategies to get around paying the tax, but you have to report every dollar of income. And of course, we want to make sure that you're reporting all of the legal and allowed deductions, right? All those expenses. So just remember that the IRS wants every piece, their little piece of every single transaction. So even down to you bought a meal at a restaurant with some coin, okay? Absolutely taxable transaction. So there was a bill, a bipartisan bill that was called the Cryptocurrency Tax Fairness Act that was introduced to the House. And of course it aims to exempt taxes on all transactions under $600. But until that passes into law, we're stuck with it. So do what you got to do to make sure that you're tracking your pennies, your coins, everything else. Do not be fooled into thinking that it is entirely the IRS, okay? The IRS is not sleeping on the job here, okay? They know how much money is out there in the coin markets, okay? And so they're using, thanks to something called chain analysis software, they're hunting for the digital wallet holders, the users, and they're going to be knocking on doors. Now, typically the IRS, it is a pretty big giant, right? So, but typically we're talking 2 to 3 years to find this kind of stuff. Obviously, they're going to start with the big winners, the big gain holders first, and then work their way down the chain as their software becomes more used to analyzing this kind of data. Fincen, okay, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. It's part of the Treasury Department. Now, Fincen can stand for multiple things. It can also stand for overseas transactions, okay? So just be careful which Fincen you're looking at. In this particular case, the rules say that Bitcoin exchanges and Bitcoin miners should really be registered as money services businesses and have to comply with anti-money laundering regulations, okay? So make sure that if this is something you're doing as a business, especially as a miner, or you're doing it in exchange for services, are you registered? Do you have all the proper licenses? You are a business, right? You really need to be watching that and making sure that you are doing what you need to do from that standpoint. Now, loans, all right? Let's talk about loans. Not clear yet, okay? So trade carefully with this. So generally, loans are neutral from a tax standpoint. They're non-taxable, but the real question is that just cryptocurrency? Is that just cash? Like what are we talking about here? Traditional currencies? Technically, crypto is a property, right? This is what we just heard from the IRS. Crypto is a property, and when you borrow against a property, you must return the same property to avoid any kind of taxation, right? But for a Bitcoin borrower, you may be selling one and returning another, or a different type of cryptocurrency. So is this going to be an issue? How is the IRS really going to deal with this? We're not quite clear on this. Now, there was a big article talking, or many articles talking about how crypto can be used in 1031 exchanges. As of 2018, gone. I know we've talked about that before. You cannot do that now in 2017 and earlier. Maybe if you used a proper qualified intermediary, maybe. I'm going to go with maybe. So make sure that you're checking with your CPA, your consultant, on these specific topics to see whether or not you're going to qualify. And of course, paying for services. So wages to employees using virtual currency are still taxable, and they're still supposed to be reported on a W-2, and you're still supposed to pay withholding and FICA and Medicare and all the other taxes that go along with having a wage. Paying independent contractors still requires giving of a 1099 to whoever it was that you paid. So make sure that you are reaching out to your CPA, your tax professional, even better, your tax strategist, to make sure that you are getting top-notch information and you are doing everything that you need to do so that you are above board. Okay, the IRS is on to the cryptocurrency world, and it's not in the dark ages anymore. So let's make sure that you're doing everything right, and with that, getting the best strategies to pay the least amount of tax. So if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us today. We always want to make sure that we're bringing you education, entertainment, or inspiration, one of those three. Hopefully today was a little bit of education and a little bit of entertainment, all the good bits, but remember to leave us any comments or questions down below. We will get to those and try and answer them as quickly as possible. And if you have any other topics that you would like us to cover, definitely let me know. So make sure you register for the event on 5/24, May 24th, for our webinar, and subscribe. So hopefully we'll see you guys soon. You can check us out on our Facebook page. You can find us on our newsletters, taxgoddess.com. You can definitely find us our podcast, Fireside Chat with Tax Goddess Live. So find us on iTunes, Podbean, all sorts of cool podcast sites. And of course, you can always check out our websites, Big Tax Drop and Drop My Taxes, if you're looking for a tax strategy. So signing off with Tax Love, your Chief Tax Goddess and Chief Tax Strategist, Shauna. Bye. Right in.